Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Altered Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific counter himself, Zealeus.
It is good to see y'all with a little bit of buffering and other weird issues, but here we are on a splendid Thursday night in Atlanta doing the thing online with the tubes of people I don't actually know what any of them are.
How about the ones and the zeros? Let's just go with that. The tube sounds so wrong.
What about the zeros and the ones? Why does the one always have to come first?
I don't know. I
Are
just
you
feel
numbers?
that I believe that they have earned it. Okay, damn it, they've earned it.
But zero is such a special number. It's actually considered like a milestone of invention in the world of math.
Yeah, but one was there before zero. Okay,
was it?
Yes, it was. Zero didn't come until afterwards. Anyways, so ladies and gentlemen, this, of course, is the Thursday Night Hangout. This is a weekly live show for you. We take your comments, topics, and questions and try our best to cover them with you during the show. If you didn't get a chance to submit your topic, question, etc., have no fear. You could drop it in the chat and we will add it into our show. If we do, unfortunately, run over for time and we do not get to your topic or question, we will add it to next week's show. So without further delay, ladies and gentlemen, there was a question that came in. We're just going to start with it off the bat since we did have a little bit of a later start. And that, my friends, is there a genre that you would consider hazardous to your health? I.e., once you start playing this type of game, it's really hard to stop.
Oh, I think I meant hazardous as in it actually like physically painful.
Well, if you get locked into a game and the next thing you blink and it's like 18 hours later and you're basically having to suffer through atrophy, then yeah, it is painful.
There's a reason I haven't played MMOs in a couple of years, actually, because once I get sucked into the depths of a MMO like Final Fantasy XIV or Rift or any of those games, it's my life becomes complete only with the fat new purple loot that I can pick up from the in-game raiding boss, which therefore sucks away the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's my genre. But on a more local note, probably just your typical 4X Civilization games, because it's just so easy to just play one more turn, sir.
So, okay. It's kind of mine. Mine is unfortunately Merge 3 games. Okay? Where, you try to put 3 or more objects together and it merges to make a bigger object. It's once I start playing that damn thing, I lose all track of time. And there's always one more match you could make.
I could see that.
And I'll be totally honest with you. I lost a good chunk of the day today to a Merge game because I was just like, I got some time. And then next thing I know, it was an hour later. So, yeah, that's it's a combination of that instant gratification of you just made a match with 3 or 5. Usually I go with 5 because 5 usually causes 2 upgrade things instead of 1.
It's OP strategy, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so I usually go and do that. But there's always, I'm always looking to eke something out, and I'm also like always reorganizing everything in the world so that it fits better, so that I could see where the matches are going to be. But yeah, Merge 5 games are the devil, and I will play the shit out of a Merge 5 game, and then hopefully stop myself from doing it for long enough for it to get out of my system. And I just promise to myself and hope that I don't accidentally stumble upon another Merge 5 game, because then it's basically falling off the wagon, shooting my veins up with heroin again.
I mean, there's always another, right?
Yo, believe me, I know. And there's so many ones that look almost identical, but they do something slightly different.
Exactly. It's just that extra little bit of interestingness.
Yes. This one, the one I'm playing, has like theme songs. Let's see here. Sam Grizzle, my keyboard is missing the enter key. Frustration smash after getting sniped in Battlefield 1. I hate snipers.
That's a very impressive keyboard mash if you broke your enter key.
Which one, though? We talking about the main one or the one on the numpad?
I'm going to assume in the main one because people actually I think forget the second enter key exists. So I'm going to guess it's the main one because it's like right there. It's like perfect alignment for my hand to just be like, oh, smash.
I don't know. If I'm doing WASDA, I think that if I'm doing WASDA and the mouse and keyboard, I think that the most likely enter to be obliterated would be that enter on the numpad because it's literally right there. What's up, Iconics?
But you're also assuming that Sam has a full keyboard with the numpad. We don't actually know that for a fact.
Look, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I cannot stand keyboards that do not have the numpad. I can't function without that numpad.
I don't know who you see, Iconics, because I don't know who Zealeus is, but there's indeed Charlie on the show.
Yes, Zealeus, Zealous. Let's see. I will type it. Zealeus. It's an E, not an O. But anyways,
thank you for singing it.
You're welcome. But seriously, I cannot function with a keyboard that does not have the numpad. I can't do it.
Totally understandable. I don't use the numpad. It's just like a feeling like my keyboard's incomplete without that extra space on the side.
Well, for me, it's whatchamacallit? I used to have to put in. In one of my jobs, I had to do data entry, and so my hand goes. So when I had to put in like 9-digit codes and 12-digit codes, it's a lot easier doing the numpad than across the top of your keyboard.
Oh, I don't use the top of my keyboard for numbers. That's just
what the hell
terrible.
do you use if you don't have a numpad? Then what the hell do you use your numbers?
No, I said I don't use the top of my keypad for numbers. I use my numpad for the numbers, not the top of the keyboard.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're both agreeing.
Okay, fine then. Anyways.
One of us is not right.
I don't know what's going on. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get to some of the interesting news of the week. And of course, the first bit of news is there is yet another streaming service joining the crowd.
Is this the unveiling of the Altered Confusion where we alter your gaming confusion by streaming all the time?
No. So, of course, we know we've all heard about the Google Stadia. And, of course, Microsoft has their own thing. I think it's called, like, Cloud or something. Anyways, so the latest and greatest to join the crew is the one and only Amazon.
Wow, that's a shock.
Which, I'm going to be totally honest with you, it makes total sense for them since they own Twitch. So why not have a streaming device that will have absolute 100% Twitch? Oh shit, I just forgot what the damn thing's called. Twitch, not interactive. What the hell's the word I'm looking for? Integration. There we go. Full Twitch integration because they own them. But anyways, it is called Luna, like the moon.
Oh.
It will launch initially on PCs, Macs, Fire TV, iPhones, and iPads. Those last two are through a web app. Unfortunately, for those out there who do have Android devices, that's not planned right away, which is kind of funny. Well, actually, no. It's okay. So the funny thing is, Fire TV is based off of the Android OS. There it is. OS. However, Fire TV's Android OS is its own. Android is open source, so they put their own proprietary spin on it, and also Amazon and Google are constantly in a pissing match. So of course, the regular Android devices will not get that love.
Well, here's the weird part, though, is like iOS is via the web because I'm guessing they're bypassing basically the App Store. So,
oh yay, another epic in the making.
They don't get the cut. Well, this is different, though. I look at it completely different if it's on the web. Like, to me, that's totally different than the App Store. But it's just, that aside, it's funny to me that it's on the web and iOS, which if you can use Safari on iOS to access it, you'd think you could basically just use Chrome on the Android. Right. Total aside, so I was trying to Google the Xbox streaming service. If you go to their link, see what happens.
Let's see what we got here, ladies and gentlemen. It says, you've stumbled into the nether page not found.
Yeah, so go to the first hit of Xbox streaming, and it's a page not found.
Woohoo!
Whoops, somebody screwed that one up.
Well, I mean, Microsoft's not perfect per se. But anyways, so it's gonna be it's called Luna. If you are in the U.S. of A, you can request early access to the service starting today. The international version availability has not been discussed. It will be. There is an. I fucking hate this. The introductory price of $5.99 a month during its early access phase, and that will give subscribers the ability to play Luna Plus channel games across 2 simultaneous devices. So technically, you could play Hot Seat, sort of, with one account.
I mean, that's what they're all going for, is a streaming service. I mean, that's basically Microsoft's large strategy with the Xbox Series X. I mean, obviously, they'll have console games you can purchase, but that's their strategy to really counteract Sony, is basically all in with basically the Microsoft Gaming Pass. Right. That's what they're using to set themselves apart. And, then obviously, like you said, then you got the Googles and now you got the Amazons. And that's really what they're seeing as the future, is gaming as a service, just like music. It's CDs and those are dead. So everybody does Spotify or Pandora or something. People don't really buy records. Well,
it depends on the lawsuit. I swear that I hear a new lawsuit every single day for Spotify, and some artist has gotten pissed off and they removed all their shit off there. And then there's then of course there's the conspiracy. For those out there who may or may not know this, there is a crazy ass opinionated dude out there who says all kinds of weird stuff from time to time, and that gentleman's name is Joe Rogan, and he signed an exclusive contract to have his podcast show on Spotify. And it turns out that he promised that all the episodes were going to be there, and that that it's still, everything's the same, nothing's going to change. But it turns out that they've blocked quite a few things because of issues with Spotify's rules of the community.
Yes.
Because some of them is a little bit controversial. He has promoted and interviewed certain risque, shall we say, guests, but that's a lawsuit in the making right there.
I don't really pay attention to Joe Rogan or podcasts in general,
except for ours and Ando's,
of course.
Which, ladies and gentlemen, of course, if you're looking for a fun podcast to tune into. Let's see if I'm trying to pull it up as quickly as I can. It is called Shadow of the Dark Past. I will drop the link into the chat so that you too can pick it up. Joe Rogan is conspiracy theorist. Oh God, yes. He and what's that guy's name? Jones.
Jones McGee?
No. Alex Jones, who is an absolute nutball. They like to. Yeah. Anyways, we're getting way off the topic here. Let's reel it back in. But anyways, the introductory $5.99 a month, and for that, the subscribers get the ability to play Luna Plus channel games across 2 devices simultaneously, and offers 4K 60 frames per second resolution on select titles.
Ooh,
now,
fancy.
Of course, here comes the real surprise. This entire thing is going to be powered by AWS.
No way.
Amazon Web Services.
And the controller looks exactly like my Switch Pro controller.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you're willing to jump in early, the controller, the Alexa-enabled Luna controller, will cost you $49.99 during this early access period. Now, of course, any system is only as good as the games that they're offering. So they're touting that they'll have more than 100 games available on launch. Some of them include Resident Evil 7, Control, Panzer Dragoon, A Plague Tale: Innocence, The Surge 2, Yooka-Laylee, Grid, Abzu, Brothers Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, and then they're going to have they've also done a further exclusive with or partnership with Ubisoft, and Ubisoft's going to have their own damn channel. Players who subscribe to this channel will have access to, so it's going to be an additional subscription is what it looks like. But players who subscribe to this channel will have access to their favorite Ubisoft titles in up to 4K resolution, mobile gameplay, and access to new titles when the channel launches, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Far Cry 6, and Immortals Phoenix Rising the same day they release. This is the first of multiple Luna game channels in development where customers can play games from their favorite publishers and genres.
I'm excited.
So let's find out how they say the controller's going to work. Luna Controller is Alexa enabled and connects directly to the cloud to effortlessly control your game, featuring a multiple antenna design that prioritizes uninterrupted Wi-Fi for lower latency gaming. In fact, our testing showed a reduction in round-trip latency when playing Luna Controller with Cloud Direct versus Luna Controller via Bluetooth, with reductions of between 17 to 30 milliseconds among PC, Fire TV, and Mac. Because the Luna controller connects directly to cloud servers, players can easily switch between games, such as Fire TV to mobile phone, without additional pairing or configuration changes. I'll see it when I believe it. Or I'll believe it when I see it. There we go. That's what I was
So the internet speeds on the website is the minimum recommended connection is 10 megabits per second.
Mm-hmm.
Which, let's see here. What is 10 megabits? So if I do this, I'm trying to calculate the background, or 35 megabits per second for 4K. That is a whole lot of bandwidth to use.
But yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe I can do like a secret handshake and get in on this action. Probably not, but I know someone that works at Amazon. So maybe?
Yep.
Hakonic says, so a controller that can connect to anything without any configurations. Well, I'm assuming it
just automatically works with the...
No, but okay, so
there's
no configuration of so it's like, I guess it's like a new Alexa, but with
it makes
like
it
buttons?
sound like it uses 5 gigahertz is what I'm reading.
Okay.
So if you're going 4K at the 35 megabits per second, you're using about 15 gigs per an hour.
Woo!
You can blow right through your bandwidth caps. Wouldn't take too long.
Yay, ISPs screwing over the consumers. Thank you.
Indeed.
But
no, I mean, this is, for better or for worse, this is the future of gaming.
Right. I mean, well, it's the everything's going to go streaming
service.
because,
yep.
For better or for worse, it makes you have a larger selection. It's basically it's the Netflix model. I mean, you pay a monthly fee and you get access to a shit ton of stuff.
And the big conglomerates love it because they know they have a very constant stream of income.
Right.
Once you kind of get that flow of customers, you can very well predict exactly what your at least income is. And then you pretty much hold the publishers over the balls as far as what they can charge.
I would be very interested to see how that money breakdown goes with, like, if you add your game to the library, how much is Amazon paying, or how much are you paying to put your game there? And what's your cut?
Like, well, it's also different services. So if you look at like Spotify versus Pandora, it's functionally the same thing.
Right.
But the royalty to the artist is dramatically different between the two.
Yep.
So I'd be curious of like the Stadia versus Xbox versus Luna, if it's kind of the same thing where it's paid on if I'm playing like, Ultra Confusion 2, but depending on what service I'm playing, does it also give a different payout?
Right. Because I mean, the plus and minus to having, a library of games, it's on a subscription base, is that, I mean, there's got to be some kind of data collecting to see where the more popular games in. It's probably like a percentage.
Oh yeah.
Of your game is super duper popular. We're going to give you a little bit more of a bump. I would assume. I don't know.
So I guess the question is, they basically pay them per. Like, I'm going to pay you $1,000 a month to allow people to stream this endlessly on my game, or is it you get 10 cents per an hour per player playing the game?
That'd be a very good question to ask someone. Maybe I could find someone to talk to.
I say you might know. So, I mean, and I think that's really fascinating. What model are they taking on that approach?
Something tells me that even if I got the right name to talk to, they would not talk about their inner workings of monetizing their system.
Yeah,
But I
it's
can
probably
always ask. Uh-oh. Zealeus has gone frozen. Hold on. Let's see if we can get him back here. Zealeus! Zealeus! Don't leave us, damn it! I think he broke. Damn it, Google! He's not frozen, he's just very still. If he's that still, that's amazing, because he's not... Hey, there he is.
Hey!
Okay, so anyways, yes, I would be very interested to see if I could actually get that information, but something tells me that no one's going to give me their proprietary marketing equation. So, speaking of oodles and oodles of moolah, the huge, humongous breaking news this week was, of course, Microsoft acquiring Zealeus, leaving the phone call. He left me alone again, damn it. Well, anyways, Microsoft has acquired ZeniMax, and there is Zealeus. ZeniMax, of course, is the parent company for Bethesda Softworks, Bethesda Game Studios, id Software, Arcane, Machine Games, Tango Gameworks, Alpha Dog, Roundhouse Studios, which, of course, is a shit ton of different developers who've done successful titles over the years. And I'm assuming Zealeus can hear me, yes?
Hi!
Good.
I can hear you in all your glory, sir.
All right, so Microsoft, there's, of course, as soon as this, first of all, this deal has been announced, but it has not officially gone through yet. The deal doesn't actually close until the second half of the current fiscal year. So basically that means between January and June of 2021 will it be finalized. But I think it's just, it's all formality. They've locked into everything. Microsoft was asked if they were going to do any like house cleaning, what they're going to do with jobs, was there going to be layoffs, any like merging and stuff. And Microsoft said, no, we're just going to leave them alone. They, they'll continue to do what they do. And they're also not forcing ZeniMax to have any of their studios go console exclusive, because that would just, However, that would allow for a humongous back catalog to easily be attached to any of their new streaming services. I'm just saying. That would be awesome.
Indeed.
Actually, Bethesda games aren't really your forte, because a lot of them are open world, and I know that Zealeus
it's
gets
more like
lost
the Elder
easily.
Scrolls type of games.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls, Fallout.
But are you going to get a new Elder Scrolls instead of like, let's release Elder Scrolls 4 again with more mods and add-ons?
No, dude, I'm going to Elder Scrolls 2, Daggerfall. Or Elder Scrolls 3, Morrowind.
Yeah, because it seems like they've kind of been in a rut of basically releasing the same game over and over and over and over and over.
What other company does that?
Okay, fair point.
I can think of two off the top of my head. One deals with football, and the other one has the word final, and it's followed by fantasy.
Yep. Well, at least those finals are at least actually different games. I
But
mean,
when
same
is the
genre,
Final Fantasy,
obviously.
damn it?
It's obviously different genre. It's obviously the same RPG genre, but at least it's not the same game.
Sure, they make tweaks to get the gamer to buy a new game, but they're all about a disenfranchised youth who pulls himself out of nothingness and saves the world.
I am the hero of light, and I shall save everything.
I'm the reluctant hero, but I've suffered from amnesia, and it's okay because in the end, I'll get the girl and I'll kill a dude who turns out to be my mom's dad's ex-partner's friend from another mother who used to own a billy goat down the lane.
What kind of billy goat?
Black and white.
Oh, it's the good kind.
Mm-hmm. The fainting kind, too.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, so, I mean, it's... it's not that big of a surprise. Microsoft and ZeniMax, I mean, it's a merger of two humongous companies, one more into the hardware side and one more into the software side. And this kind of actually helps put some of the there are some people who used to be with like Bethesda that are now with Microsoft, and that allows them to kind of like recombine sort of. I think it's Black Isle Studios is some of those people when that got blown up. They had a bunch of, they were tied with Bethesda, so we'll see. Maybe some cool stuff will happen out of it, but we'll see.
Well, part of the entertaining part is there's Bethesda has some PS4, PS5 exclusives in the works. There's just some irony there of Microsoft now owning a company who's developing a PS5 exclusive.
Yep.
I would assume that given certain languages, that could eventually change.
No, I to be honest with you, I think that I don't think that they'll go back on those exclusive contracts, but I think going forward, you're probably going to have, a little bit differently worded contracts. If they do exclusives, because the thing is, if you do exclusives, you get a bigger, cut of the pie for that exclusive, so it'd be more of a time exclusive. Haconic says, I hope Bethesda doesn't try selling their merch for any of their games. Sam says Microsoft spent $7.4 billion. Consumers are going to eat that somehow.
I like to eat Microsoft cash. It is quite yummy.
As long as they're feeding it to me and as long as I get to keep some, I think I'm okay.
No, I mean, I think Microsoft looked at it and they just assumed that based on whatever product that they can put out, they're going to make an income off of it. I don't know if it necessarily means Microsoft is going to start charging, more money for anything for their products.
No.
They just see it as
more
return
revenue
on investment down the road.
Yeah.
Just like, look at Minecraft. Minecraft is more than paid off for them. And to Microsoft's credit, it's not like, I know there's a lot of skepticism when they took over, who's the actual Minecraft company?
Mahjong.
Thank you. When they bought Mahjong, there was some skepticism of like, ooh, but from there, I don't play Minecraft, but everything I've heard, they've done a pretty good job of
just leaving it alone.
Allowing it to still be Minecraft. It's not like they went in and over monetized or anything.
Or rebranded the shit out of everything.
Yeah, so it seems like if there's going to be a great overlord steward of game studios, could have been a whole lot worse than Microsoft buying it.
Agreed. Now, let's change gears and talk about another console company out there, and that is, there's the latest news from Nintendo. And I'm going to be totally honest with you, I think that it's way past due, honestly. But Nintendo has officially come out and announced that the 3DS has been discontinued.
What? I was still counting on my Nintendo Game Boy, man. Has that been discontinued?
Long time ago. The 3DS, of course, was announced in 2010 and was released for retail in 2011. It sold more than 75 million consoles and 384 million games sold.
Not too shabby.
No, not at all. But look, as soon as I got my hands on the Nintendo Switch, I knew that it's a console and a mobile and your mobile gaming device. There's no reason to continue with the 3DS. there's other reasons why shouldn't have continued with the 3DS, because that 3D part was becoming super duper optional for all the games. Yes, it's a 3DS. You could potentially have some 3D stuff in there, but most of the developers stopped doing that. One of the issues was that by having that 3D setting, you're actually capping the young age that you could have when playing the game, because if you were too young, you would strain the fuck out of your eyes because of the 3D stuff.
Dude, age is just a
Number?
construct of the human mind and is not really relevant to any reality that our mind creates for us.
Do you actually believe what you're spouting?
The vodka does.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised. I knew it was coming, so.
I mean, I think you would always say it's a shock it took this long.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, yeah.
It would have been one thing if the Switch was an epic fail and like nobody bought it,
And then
but if the overwhelming success of the Switch, there was no reason to basically go for the 3DS at this point. So,
well, the other thing is that the kind of games you could play on the 3DS were going to get a pump, a little bit of an oomph playing on a Switch version anyway. So why would you?
True. Well, of course, now there's the rumor of the Switch HD being in development.
Oh Christ!
Well, isn't that always the case? There's always like the next, a year from now, we're going to be hearing about the PS6 and the Xbox Series YZQ.
No, yeah, it'll be a PlayStation. Well, it'll be the PlayStation 5S exclusive edition, and then
the PlayStation 5 Series X.
There it is, just to be a dick.
Really screw people.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to take a brief moment here and do some shout-outs for all those amazing people out there that support Altered Confusion. So, without further ado, let me tell you about the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts to challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. And talking about, speaking of rare concepts, there was, I think it was like 2 years ago at MomoCon, someone had basically built a take care of baby simulator where you had to feed the baby and change his diaper. That's too much for me. I can't.
It's like work simulator games where you're actually simulating being in an office, working as an office drone. I'm like, no,
it's like there's
too much.
Was that was it Thailand or Korea? One of those countries. There was a parent. A married couple got arrested because they let their newborn baby die because they were playing a virtual baby raising game at down the street.
I mean, it's the endorphins of the addiction. It's some of us, it definitely picks up more than others. I think we've all been in the throes of it before. Not obviously to the point of excluding kids and letting them die. That's a whole different level.
Before this commercial is over, Microsoft will have bought Indie Cluster.
Ooh.
Ron would be very happy if that was the case. Okay, so
I would sell this baby in a hot penny if it got money.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about our next friend of the show, and that, of course, is Hero Chiropractic. Hero Chiropractic is a unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore. The company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They are committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. And he has been my chiropractor for 4 or 5 years now, and he's now my son's chiropractor, so he knows his shit. I'm just gonna say it. All right.
I don't know if I want my chiropractor doing shit to me. Like, I want the good stuff, not shit.
Ha 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 ha. Well, then you should get your adjustment from Ryan. Okay, so this is another friend of the show, and he just released his next Kickstarter, which I'm sure has already been funded. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about Nurburgring Games. Nurburgring Games is the game design imprint of award-winning RPG designer Craig Campbell. Craig has done a whole bunch of RPG design freelancing in the past. Several years ago, he dove into designing his own RPG. Now, Nurburgring Games has multiple RPGs and is showing no signs of stopping. Nurburgring Games endeavors to create games that explore corners of the RPG landscape that haven't been explored, or haven't been explored very often. These games forego dense gaming mechanics in favor of lighter rule sets that allow players to focus on telling fun, engaging, and memorable stories.
What kind of stories?
Memorable.
So
we have we've actually had Craig on the show a couple times to talk about mergers and acquisitions. We've done his one-off runs of Capers. Actually, I think Zealeus was in an actual like campaign for Capers, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in like basically a beta for Capers.
Yeah.
When you were still kind of figuring out the rule set. Yep.
Yeah, so you've got Capers, you've got Die Laughing, you've got mergers and acquisitions, and then of course his new one is Strong Helping Hands. Is that right?
Sounds about right. Makes my hands feel really creepy.
That's disgusting.
I'm just saying, strong hands. If you know what I mean.
I will double check that really quick, but I'm almost 100% sure that's the name of the Good Strong Hands. There we go. And it has already surpassed its goal by it's already doubled its expected goal. So for those interested in joining in all the fun, here is the Kickstarter link. It still has 28 days to go. It has 145 backers. The goal was 3,000. It's now sitting at 6,650. So once again, Craig knows his shit. If you want to learn from like the guru master of how to run a successful Kickstarter, just talk to Craig, because dear God, man.
He knows things.
Indeed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we have to do a shout out to our local water hole that we love and support even when it is closed. And that, of course, is Battle and Brew. Battle and Brew is Atlanta's first and oldest gaming bar and restaurant. Opened in 2005, Battle and Brew had a very modest menu, a few beer taps, and focused heavily on gaming. Now, they have grown to encompass so much more. They pioneered geek trivia in Atlanta and remain the hardest trivia in town. They have upgraded the menu from only a few items to all your bar favorites and some soon-to-be favorites. They've expanded the gaming and kept everything top of the line. They've taken a good place and made it a great place. A place where the staff listens to your desires and suggestions. A place where you and your friends feel like you're at home. A place where everyone knows your game. And
they don't know my name, though. That kind of hurts my feelings.
Once this Corona crap is done, I am, as I've stated many times before, I will be camping out on a bar stool at Battle and Brew, and I will have either Uber or a Lyft or a friend, a DD, designated driver, on speed dial, because I'm not going to be able to drive home after I go celebrate at Battle and Brew for being open and for all this shit being done with. That's just me, though.
How I feel every day driving home.
Yeah. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I do want to make you aware that Altered Confusion does have a Patreon. Altered Confusion survives on the love and support of fans like you, and so we have a Patreon page. Patreon lets you, the fan supporters, become active participants in the work we love through a monthly membership. This gives you access to exclusive content, community, and insight into our creative process. In exchange, we gain a bit more freedom to do our best work and the stability we need to build an even stronger creative career. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you at this very moment. We lost one of our big pledges, so we're now not able to truly swallow the cost of the podcast hosting, but that's okay.
Who'd you scare away, man?
Huh?
Who'd you scare away?
I'll tell you off the show.
All right, man.
But
I'm
anyways,
sad now.
yeah. But anyways, if you want to help support Alter Confusion so that we can uh, raise money to help us for going to conventions, upkeep for hosting needs and whatnot, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/AlteredConfusion, and you can pledge anywhere from one. We've got two different tiers. We got a $1 tier. We've got a $5 tier. You, of course, can go above and beyond if you so desire. But if you do go above $5, please hit me up, and I will give you something extra special, because if you're going to be pledging more than $5 a month, I want you to actually get your money's worth.
Nice.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, something that Alter Confusion is always proud in participating in, and that, of course, is Extra Life. Alter Confusion is proud to say that we will be fundraising for Extra Life for the 9th straight year. Extra Life is gamers doing what they do best to help sick and injured children at their chosen Children's Miracle Network hospital. The money that we raise through Extra Life will go directly to our chosen Children's Miracle Network hospital as unrestricted funds. This means that the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the kids they treat. So if you have the capacity to donate, please go to extra-life.org and search for Alter Confusion, and you can make your donation today. Our Children's Miracle Network Hospital has been and probably will always be the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. I have spent many a trip there. My sisters have, and both my kids have. So I am more than willing to help raise money for them.
I don't know, man. It's probably been at least 20 years since I've had to go there.
If only it had been that long since last I was there.
The price of kids.
Indubitably. Now, I know, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to say that I know that there are those out there who may want to help out Alter Confusion, but may not be able to do it in monetary style. Or maybe you can only do a one-time donation. If you want to do a one-time donation and you're on Twitch, all you got to do is go to that area below the video, and there is a Donate Now button that will go straight to the Alter Confusion Fund, and it will allow, it's a one-time donation, and we would love you for it. If you do not have the ability to do a financial donation, but you want to help us out in some other way, the best way to do it is like our post, reshare, retweet, follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. Tune into all our stuff. Tell your friends. And if you want to go the extra mile and you want to actually maybe send Alter Confusion something that we can showcase on the show within reason, you can always do the following. And that is, of course, you can mail it to Alter Confusion at 1551 Dunwoody. That's DUNWOODY, Village Parkway. This is super duper important. Number 88276. That number, 88276, is the actual P.O. Box number. If you do not include that, it will not get to us and will be returned to you within a couple business days.
That'd be so sad.
The city is, once again, Dunwoody, DUNWOODY, Georgia 30338. And as I stated last time, the reason why I stress the P.O. Box number is that the last time that AndoCon happened, my badge actually got sent to just the post office and not my actual P.O. box. And I got lucky because the person who usually sorts the stuff to send to basically return to sender was sick. So my package with my VIP badge was still sitting in the mailroom. So I lucked out.
Nice. Every once in a while, you get lucky.
Indubitably. Now, of course, I still don't know exactly who the hell Mitchell is, but I want to thank Mitchell yet again for the Funko Pops, at least the last round of Funko Pops that was sent. Thank you so much. Hit me up and we'll try to, I will find a way to thank you. How about that?
We could thank him on air.
I have thanked him several times.
Oh, there you go.
But, okay, so let's get back in the news. And this one is SEGA has, with the success of Sonic the Hedgehog, have decided that they will now take on one of their other properties and make a live action version of it. That is from the franchise that they're going to use next is Yakuza. Yakuza games typically follow uh, Kuzma Kiryu, a lifelong member of the Japanese mafia. Uh, Kiryu and a variety of wild characters participate in various mini-games around Japan and work to solve some central mystery affecting the Yakuza. The series, which started in the PlayStation 2 era, has followed Kiryu from his young adult life through his middle-aged years. But here's the thing. For anyone out there who's played Yakuza, or maybe you haven't played it, but maybe you saw something weird in passing. You didn't hallucinate it. The Yakuza series does contain diaper men, bizarre mascots, baby hijinks, main characters popping out of trash cans, and stand-ins for celebrities like Steven Spielberg. When asked about this movie, I believe it's one of the studios that's a part of it said, Yakuza offers us a new playground in which to set compelling stories with complex characters and a unique environment that audiences have rarely seen before. The saga of Kazuma Kiryu has a built-in cinematic appeal, a mix of kinetic action with bursts of comedy, multiple converging storylines, and a gripping journey towards redemption. Sure. They could basically do anything, and I think it would fall within the Yakuza storyline. And I think I just lost Zealeus again, so I'm just going to keep talking like I know what I'm doing. But yeah, I mean, Yakuza. It'll be interesting. Hopefully they strike gold twice. But he has left internets. Oh no. Oh no. But hopefully, my hope is that the next, the next Sonic the Hedgehog is going to be the awesome one. If Sega could only have one. Now let's see if I can't gain Zealeus back into the conversation here. 1 second. Says he's in the call, but he's not in the call. What? So lost. I'm going to go cry for... That is all that is left for me. Nothing else to live for. I'm sorry, Zealeus. I'm so sorry. All right, well, Zealeus is... Oh, man. And this is going to kill Zealeus because the next story has to do with The Witcher. But anyways, of course, there's this, very popular show on Netflix called The Witcher, and they were trying to film season 2, of course, with the COVID outburst. There, of course, has been delays, and unfortunately, one of the things that's occurred because of this delay is one of the key new additions to the second season, which was one of Geralt's best friends, who's also a Witcher, Witcher Eskel. The character has to be removed. The actor was very, very sad. He said the departure is due to scheduling, and it's heartbreaking. And here's his exact quote, and that is, sadly, due to the rescheduling because of COVID-19, I will not be portraying Eskel in The Witcher. It's heartbreaking, of course, but I mostly feel happy and grateful for the days I got to spend on set early this year. Everyone was extremely engaged and passionate about the project, and it was a truly inspiring experience. A heartfelt thank you to all the fans who wrote me lovely, encouraging messages. I wish everyone on the show best of luck with the rest of production. I'm sure season 2 will be absolutely amazing, and now I get to watch it as a fanboy instead of as a Witcher, which is just really sad. But, this wonderful COVID thing is always causing issues. But I think this series will survive. Okay, so I'm going to save the last two topics because because they're both ones that I kind of need Zealeus for. So I think we're just gonna wrap this up as an early show, unfortunately. Oh crap! I can't even do my exit because Zealeus is gone. All right, I'm gonna wing it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let's see if I can get this right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Altered Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure giving you everything come our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. Will be back next Thursday for another amazing Altered Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. And remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world. Amen to that, brother.